Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus went up to the mountain to pray, and he spent the night in prayer to God. When day came, he called his disciples to himself, and from them he chose 12, whom he named apostles. Simon, whom he named Peter, and his brother Andrew, James, John, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, Simon, who was called a zealot, and Judas the son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. The Gospel of the Lord. The epistle and the gospel that you just read are the ones from the Feast of the Apostles in the gospel listing them. That's why they were chosen for this feast of St. Simon and Jude. The fact is, that's about all that we know about both of them. There's almost no information about St. Jude. Even his name is uncertain in the sense that in the gospel you just read, his name is listed as Judas. And in John, he is called Thaddeus. In Matthew and Mark, in John and Matthew and Mark, he's called Thaddeus. But the name Judas in St. Luke was apparently changed to Jude so as not to mix him up with the traitor, Judas Iscariot. The epistle of St. Jude in our scriptures was not written by him either. So that leaves us with almost zero knowledge about who St. Jude is. He's known as the apostle of hopeless causes, especially after Danny Thomas, the comedian whom some of you may remember, named his hospital for people who were suffering from cancer. But it seems hopeless to try to find out why he is the patron of hopeless causes. He has one line of dialogue in John where he asks Jesus why he is showing himself to them and not to everybody. We can do a little better with St. Simon, but not much. He doesn't even have a speaking part in the Gospels. He's listed in all four namings of the apostles. In two of them he is called Simon the Galilean, but in Luke he is called Simon the Zealot. The Zealots were a small group, a radical group of people who believed that the freedom and independence that was granted by God to Israel should remain so that no other nation would ever rule about them, and they would pay no taxes to foreigners. They were in constant rebellion with the Romans. Today we would call them terrorists because they murdered and raided, killing not only foreigners, but also Jews who collaborated with them. It was they who led the rebellion that finally resulted in the total destruction of Jerusalem in the year 70 AD. That meant that Simon had to let go of a lot of his radical ideas and accept a nonviolent, peacemaking approach of Jesus, who even allowed taxes to go to Caesar if they belonged to him. Simon had to undergo a radical conversion and perhaps a radical aversion by those who were originally his friends. Both Simon and Jude are considered martyrs, and there's a tradition that they were martyred in Persia, which is present-day Iran, on the same day. So even though these apostles are almost faceless to us today, we should remember that they were human beings like you and I am, but they had the extraordinary experience of experiencing Jesus the Christ, and that changed everything, their lives and their deaths. When we meet them in heaven, they may look very much like ordinary men, but we can thank them for handing on the faith to us today.